Howdy, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to the video for Elden Ring. My name is Ventus SGN. In this video, I'm going to show you one of my new favorite class builds to run in the game, the Marais Executioner. This is an extremely powerful faith strength build that centers around one of my top 5 favorite weapons in the game, the Marais Executioner Greatsword. Now, before I get into the build, do me a favor. If you're new here, sub to the channel for Elden Ring and like the video. I would really appreciate it. Thanks. Alright, so to make this build, you're going to need a few essential items. Firstly, you'll need the Marais Executioner. This is a great sword that you get from completing the boss fight at the Shaded Castle in the Altus Plateau near the Volcano Manor. The Marais Executioner is a great sword that was enchanted with the spell of Eochaid's Dancing Blade, an ability that lets you telekinetically throw the sword out in front of you to spin and deal continuous damage. This ability is chargeable, so the longer you hold the charge, the more effective the attack will be in terms of range and length of the attack. This weapon primarily scales off of strength, but also uses arcane and dex, so having a high strength and arcane is what you're going to want when using this sword. Now, the headgear I use for this build is the Marais Mask, an item that you can also get at the Shaded Castle by an NPC invader in the rocky field west of the Shaded Castle, seen here on my map. The Marais Mask, when worn, raises your arcane score by 1. Now, alternately, you can use the full Briar armor set for this build to completely become the Marais Executioner, Elemer of the Briar. You get this set by defeating Elemer at the Shaded Castle and heading to the Round Table Hold to purchase the armor from the old lady in the room with the 2 fingers. A cool little thing they added with the full Briar set is that when you roll into a target, you deal a very small amount of damage because the armor is completely covered in thorns. The armor I normally wear, though, is the Marais Mask with the Zamor chest and arms, and the Preceptor's trousers, which is what you'll see my character in for the bulk of this video and most of my other videos. Alright, so next you will need a specific set of talisman that really make this sword deal tremendous damage, even without the aid of incantation buffs. Now, the main talisman set that I found that deals the most damage after a bit of testing is the Godfrey Icon. This enhances charge spells and skills. Eochaid's Dancing Blade is a skill you can charge, and the Godfrey Icon is one talisman that seriously boosts its damage. If you don't have the Godfrey Icon, you can get it from the Golden Lineage Everjail in the Altus Plateau east of the Grand Lift of Dectus. The next talisman is the Star Scourge Heirloom that raises your strength by 5 points, which is perfect for a sword that scales primarily off of strength. After the Star Scourge Heirloom, you should use the Shard of Alexander. This is a very useful item that greatly boosts the attack power of skills. And if I'm being honest, this talisman is probably the backbone of the build. Now, if you don't have it, all you have to do is complete the Jar Warrior's questline after meeting him several places around the map. For full details on how to do just that, check out Fextra Life's full guide. The link to their website will be in the description. Now, you actually get the Shard of Alexander the Jar Warrior at the end of his quest in Farum Azula, where Alexander will challenge you to a fight. When you win, you get his shard and another item that starts you on another crazy quest. Now, if you are nowhere near getting this item and still want this build to work, suitable substitutes to use in place of the shard would be the Axe Talisman, because it also enhances your charged attacks. Then you have the Ritual Sword Talisman, Radagon's Scar Seal, or Marika's Sword Seal. And the final talisman to use is going to be the Rotten Wing Sword Talisman. If you don't have the Rotten Wing Sword Talisman just yet, the Wing Sword Talisman works just as well. Here is the damage differences of the sword and build. First, the sword by itself with no talisman or buffs. Now here it is with the full actual build. And now a knockoff version of the build if you don't have Alexander's Shard or the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia. I'm going to be using the Godfrey Icon, Star Scourge Heirloom, Marika's Sword Seal, and the Wing Sword Insignia. Now, the other half of this build, to really make it one of the strongest builds in the game, is using physics, specifically the Thorny Crack tier. The Thorny Crack tier makes consecutive attacks grow stronger, which is exactly what the EOK Dancing Blade does. Now, if you don't have the Thorny Crack tier, you can get it from the tree spirit that lurks around the minor herb tree in the consecrated snowfields seen here on my map. When mixing other physics with it, you have a couple of options. I personally either use the Spike Crack tier, which enhances charged attacks, or the Stone Barbed Cracked tier that makes you more likely to break enemy stances. Now, like I said, this build is powerful enough without buff incantations, but if you take the physic and use Golden Valve with Flame Grant Me Strength, you are pretty much going to delete the health of almost anything in the game. I took this build around to a few of the stronger enemies that are still left on my map and found them to be extremely easy to drop using the sword and build. Now, if you have any additions to this build or changes, or you have a similar build that you think is better, please leave that down in the comments so I can read it. For more Elden Ring quick guides and builds, head on over to my channel and browse my playlist. While you're there, turn on my notifications so you don't miss an upload. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.